Today, on Be Something Wonderful, 3 simple steps to your wish fulfilled. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Massive video this morning, and I know I say that a lot, but this really feels big. I had a session with a client that I haven't heard from for several months now. And I want to kind of give you her backstory, because now she's in her thriving online business. But when I had met her, this is what the session was about. Tom, I'm working a lot. I have no time, not enough money. I know when I have enough saved, I can start my own business. She wanted to start an online business. This is what really the call was that. Now feel that story that she's telling. This is a story that we all tell from time to time in different aspects of our life, right? You're really saying, I am not that, right? You're going against the law of being by saying what you're not, right? Because what you're not does not exist. It's only what you are, and you get to determine that. She was telling her story in linear time, creating a reality that it's in the future, creating a reality of never having enough time, never having enough money, even though she was imagining it and affirming it, never having it. And here's what we talked about. We talked about collapsing time and space, right? And just saying, it's here and now. And that reality is real right now. You just got to assume it. You got to accept it. You got to live it. Right? So we just turn that around. When you start your own business, or as you start your own business, you'll have more time and more money. Do you hear it? It's just getting her to live that reality now. Now that I started my own business, I have more time and more money. And this is what she said to me in yesterday's session. It was amazing, right? She remembers this, right? Remember, being conscious of already being it, accepting it as your new reality, and then living it and being it now. That's the key to all of it. Those 3 simple steps: assume it, accept it, and act as if. Not faking it. Not faking it till you make it, because you already made it. It's being it. It's living it. And I'm going to show this today. Remember, feeling it. Assuming it and feeling the feeling of wish fulfilled. We talked about that yesterday. It's not about the 3D feelings of feeling good all the time, right? Because that's going to shift with your moods, with your days, right? It's not about that. It's the conviction. The feeling is a conviction within, the truth within you, that you're already that person that you want to be. So let's hit this like we never have before. Remember, I am is the only reality. Everything else is just a story. Do you hear it? That was her story that she didn't have enough time. That was her story that she didn't have enough money. That was her story that she's working hard in that other job and that she can't have that reality. She can't be that person who has her own online business. Do you see it? Everything else is just a story in linear time. Past and present are just thoughts. They're a story that don't exist right now, but only in your head, only in your thought. There's only I am, and that's right now, right? And not even being in the moment. I'm talking about there's only one moment. You can't help but be in it. Before Abraham was, I am. It's really before Abraham, I am. That's the only story. The biggest story of all is linear time, the biggest made up story, the biggest whopper. The biggest lie, the biggest whopper is linear time. The real story is I am. Do you hear that? The past and future are stories, right? Waiting for your life to get better before you can feel fulfilled creates a reality of waiting for your life to get better and a life of non-fulfillment. Do you hear it? She moved from that. This is incredible. Waiting for your life to get better before you can feel fulfilled creates a reality of waiting your life to get better and a life of non-fulfillment. Wow, that's powerful. Feeling of wish fulfilled is the conviction you already are the identity and reality. I am that, of whom and what you desire to be. Yes, Neville Goddard says that feeling is the conviction, that feeling is the wish fulfilled, right? Wish fulfilled is the feeling, or faith is the feeling. But what is it all? That faith, that feeling, it's conviction of that truth within you. It's not the temporary 3D feelings of fulfillment. that can be shaken by changing prevailing conditions, or shaken by those prevailing spontaneous thoughts and feelings you have at any one moment during your day or during your week, right? Or any 3D conditions that are temporary and manifesting. A conviction is not a conviction if it can be shaken. Neville Goddard is clear here. A conviction is not a conviction if it can be shaken. And a feeling, a temporary feeling in 3D, a temporary feeling of wish fulfilled, temporarily trying to feel better to get what you want, trying to think positive thoughts because you believe if you think a negative thought, you won't get what you want. All of that's the messy middle, and none of that matters. What matters is your conviction from within, and a conviction can't be shaken, right? It's the absolute faith as a mustard seed, not seen as a mustard seed in Scripture, right? They talk about the mustard seed. When Jesus says, if you had the faith as a mustard seed, without which it's impossible to please him. That's what we're talking about. It's absolute faith. That's what conviction is. That's why Neville Goddard says faith is feeling, right? It's the absolute faith. The absolute faith of a mustard seed, knowing it's a mustard seed and only a mustard seed. And it's sealed in the conviction that it's a mustard seed, as Neville Goddard says, right? It's the absolute faith of Scripture without which it's impossible to please him. Please what? I am. In other words, impossible to be conscious of one thing and be the other. It's impossible. It's against the law. It's against the law of being. You can't be conscious of not being it and be it at the same time, right? So let's hit this. Faith is feeling. You never attract that which you want, but always that which you are. Neville Goddard. Here we go. Conviction. Faith is conviction. It is the feeling. You never attract that which you want, but always that which you are, right? According to your faith, let it be to you. This is what Jesus said over and over again. This is Matthew 9:29. In other words, according to your feeling, as Neville Goddard points out, according to your conviction, according to I am that, then it will be done to you. Right? The absolute faith of a mustard seed is not the measure of a small amount of faith. Neville Goddard. On the contrary, it's the absolute in faith. A mustard seed is conscious of being a mustard seed and a mustard seed alone, and it must grow into a mustard plant. Do you see it? It's sealed in the consciousness of being a mustard seed. That I am is now. Everything else is just a story. Right? Your I am is the only story that matters, is the true story, the truth of Scripture. Right? So, like the mustard seed, Neville Goddard, you too must lose yourself in the consciousness of being only that thing you desired. This is what she did, right? She moved to that through your assumption of, I am that. How do you do it? I am that. Assume it. Because there's no fiction, right? There's no fiction. That new story is your only reality. So, how do you do it? Through the assumption of I am that. We're not talking about vain repetitions. We're talking about from that truth within. Because there's no fiction. Because there's no fiction, comma. Because there's no fiction, that new story is your only reality. Because assumptions are reality. Right? There's no fiction. What you assume of that I am is reality. Faith is feeling or living in the consciousness of being the thing desired. Faith is the secret of creation. Neville Goddard. Right? Faith is feeling or living in the consciousness of being that thing desired. Faith is the secret of creation. In other words, conviction, that inner conviction within you is the secret of creation. Very powerful. Right? Neville gives us the secret of creating your own reality. Right? These are the 3 steps. I've talked about these in a few videos now, I think on both channels. And I really want to hit it here because this is what she remembers that we talked about. Right? It gives us a secret. The first one is by assuming the feeling. This is what Neville Goddard says. By assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Right? Assuming that new story. Going to that conviction. Going to that feeling of fulfillment, which is the conviction within that I am that. Right? And then living and acting on this conviction. You change your future in harmony with your assumption. Wow. In other words, you collapse time and space. You live that future now in harmony with your assumption. You assume it. You feel it. You feel the conviction, I am that. Right? That new story. You accept it and you live it. Right? You live it. He says it here. The feeling of wish fulfilled and then living it. Right? Assuming it and then living it. And then accepting it. Right? And live it is to accept it. Accept it as your new reality. Remember, acceptance of the end wills the means. You accept it. It is your new reality. You see all conditions as unfolding as part of your new reality. All conditions are unfolding as part of your new reality. Everything on the path is part of your new reality. The bridge of everything is part of the bridge of incidence. You see all conditions in accordance to that end. Accept all 3D conditions as part of that unfolding. And then act as if. It's not about faking it. You already made it. There's no fiction, so you're not faking anything. You're assuming it and you're being it. Those are the 3 steps. Let's hit this a little bit more. Let's really unpack it. Assume it. If an assumption creates your own reality, then there's no such thing as fiction. Neville Goddard. Assume it. That's your conviction. There's no such thing as fiction. Doubting it then makes no sense. Why would you doubt it? It's your truth. Your assumption is your truth. It's your reality. That's the power of an assumption. Feeling is the assumption and conviction that it's done. That's the feeling of wish fulfilled. Feel it done. Feel it. That's what we mean by feeling. It's a conviction within. It's not a temporary 3D feeling that can be shaken. Remember, conviction can't be shaken. If it can be shaken, as Neville Goddard says, it can't be conviction. If it can be shaken, it can't be the feeling, in other words, of wish fulfilled. Do you hear it? He said conviction can't be shaken. In other words, then, that conviction can't be a temporary feeling of wish fulfilled. It must be something bigger, right? It must be that conviction that it's done, right? Then accept it. Right? Assume it. Accept it. Step 1. Step 2. Accept it. Acceptance of the end wills the means. Go to the end and stay there. Stay in fulfillment. Stay in conviction. Accept that end. Right? And this is what happened. The acceptance of that end willed the means for her. The business unfolded. People came. Things lined up. Clients were there. It all happened. Right? And now she is making more money. Do you see it? The money was there. It's not about making more money and then doing it. It's doing it or being it, and then the money will come, right? As your goal is accepted, you become totally indifferent to possible failure. Doubt makes no sense. There's no possibility of non-fulfillment. Accept your assumption as your only reality. This is big. This is what she did. It wasn't about her doing anything. It's not like she quit her job that day or anything like that. She set a place apart. She did some physical things, like had a desk and an office and a laptop for it, but didn't do anything. She just claimed it within. And then the actions became natural. It worked through her, right? It wasn't about doing or not doing anything in 3D. That was all natural. She just became it. She claimed it, and then that unfolded within her. That's big, right? Go to the end and stay there. As your goal is accepted, you become totally indifferent to possible failure. This is what Neville Goddard said, right? Doubt makes no sense. There's no possibility of non-fulfillment. Accept your assumptions as the only reality. Wow. Big. Act as if. It's not fake it till you make it. You already made it. You already assumed it. You already accepted it as true. Do you see it? You've already assumed it and accepted that conviction as true. That's your truth within. Your assumptions determine not only what you see, but also what you do, for they govern all your conscious and subconscious movements towards the fulfillment of themselves. This is what Neville Goddard was getting at. This is what we're talking about. You're gonna act as if, because you're gonna be moved. People are gonna line up. Things are gonna happen naturally. They're gonna unfold. It's not about deliberately trying to make anything happen. It happens through you and as you, right? Neville's clear here. That's why he says free will is only the freedom of choice. Right? The power and freedom is in assuming and imagining you already are that which you desire. Right? And remember, she was imagining and assuming, but from the standpoint, right, of believing it's in the future. Right? Believing that what she wants is not there, by believing I am not. Right? And then we change that. As she moved into that conviction, it unfolded, right? Accept and act as if it's your only reality, because it is. That's why you act and accept as if, because it is your only reality. The power and freedom is assuming and imagining you already are and already have that which you desire. So powerful today, big one today. I am that I am is the only affirmation you'll ever need. It's not coming from vain repetitions, it's truth within, because anything else is saying I am not. There's only I am. I am the Lord, or the law, right? That's what Lord in the Old Testament, when it's capitalized, as I've talked about many times, means the law. The law of what? The law of being. And there is no other. There's no other law of being except that I am, except who you are. Do you get it? I am. Only law. And this is what Neville Goddard says, to be conscious of being one thing and then see yourself expressing something other than that which you are conscious of being is a violation of the law of being, the Lord. It's a violation of the Lord, of the I am. It's not possible. That's the only thing impossible. The law of being is never broken. Wow. Never broken. That I am done. So when you declare it, as she did, that I am that, well, it can't be broken. Once she moved into consciousness, once she dropped the story of linear time, dropped the story of it that I don't have enough money now and I don't have enough time now and I'm working hard now. Drop that story. Then you are expressing that which you desire to be. You're always expressing that which you're conscious of being. That's why Scripture said, that's why God said it's good and very good. It's good and very good because the law can never be broken, right? So whatever you're conscious of being, whether it's something you want or don't want, desired or not desired, or labeled as good or bad, it is the law, and you will express it. So why not express what you are, not what you are not, right? And what you want and what you desire. Wow, that's powerful. So remember, not only are all things made by God, all things are made of God. The absolute cannot contain something within itself that is not itself. There's only one, there's only unity. This is powerful. Neville states here, this is a very powerful thing. Not only are all things made by God, all things are made of God. The absolute cannot contain something within itself that is not of itself. Do you see it? You can't divide up God. There's nothing outside of God. There's only one. There's only unity. So when you say, I am that I am, then that's what you are. That I am from Scripture, the message from God to Moses, right? And remember what Neville says here, the I am, the first I am is declaring yourself to be that which you want to be. That indicates that which you want to be. I am that indicates what you want. I am just declares yourself to be. Great place to start. And then that which you want to be. And then the other I am is the cry of victory. That's what he says. I am that I am. All right. And it's also I am that I am. I am the only one I am. It's all of that. And he says it here. You do not repeat like a parrot the statement of I am that I am. Such vain repetition would be fruitless. You hear it? This is Neville Goddard. Do not repeat like a parrot the statement I am that I am. Such vain repetition would be fruitless. He's very clear here. It is a declaration of your truth within, your true story of who and what you're conscious of being. That's 3 powerfully simple steps. Assume it, accept it, and act as if. Assume it, be it, live it, right? And act as if, meaning there's only your assumption. You are that assumption. You're not faking anything. It's not delusional. You are it when you assume it. It's the only reality. 3 powerfully simple steps to manifest your wish fulfilled. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you for commenting on the videos. Thank you for being a part of this. I really am enjoying this. We have a Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at besomethingwonderful.com. At facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. We also have an Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, or you can just go to our website anytime at tomkearin.com or besomethingwonderful.com. We also have a membership channel. There is a video coming up that I'm working on for that channel that's coming. Also, I'm looking at dates for a live stream for the membership channel. All that's coming. Guys, with great love and great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom. We'll see you soon.